Hi, thanks for grading my project. It's been stressful, as I'm sure you know. I decided to do Mutibo, and I've called it Movie Trivia. I'm going to go along the requirements here in the background and show how I've met them on the app. I also have a PDF file that'll show you how I attempted to meet all the requirements. So the first one is app supports multiple users via individual user accounts. And I'm going to run the app. It's right here, movie trivia. So I can log in. It's tomcruise.com. The password is testing. Notice here I'm going to upload the high scores from the database and also challenges that I've received from other users. I'm going to show you real quick. Here's a table of scores. But actually, let me go back to where I have the users. So I have the users hard-coded as they allowed us to do so. And sorry, they're on the server. So I went along with Project 9, and I also used the login screen activity project, and then I completed everything there. Okay, so let's see. I updated the user table with email addresses and new passwords. The passwords are testing for all of them, and I'll show you right here. Here they are. So if you look at OAuth 2 security on line 178 and on, I have this new accounts here. Okay, so back to this. So I'm logged in as Tom Cruise right now. I can actually update my photo. So there I am. Let me see, I'm going to show you how I can log in as, let's do robertdowney.com. Go back out. And oh geez. Please excuse my computer, it's giving me such a hard time at the last minute, of course. And it's totally stalling right now. I can't pause the video. Okay, so I wasn't updating the screen. Robert at Downey.com. It's testing as well, so I'm just going to leave that there. Okay, so now I'm robertdowney.com. I also send challenges to myself. So actually, let me show you how I can send a challenge. So if I challenge a friend, I'm going to challenge Tom Cruise. And I'm going to challenge Cameron Diaz. And let's see. So you see there's 3 challenges here at the moment. I'm going to challenge myself as well. I know ordinarily you wouldn't do that, but I want to demonstrate how. So I have 3 now. When I log back in, there should be 4. There it is, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now I'm just challenging a game of 10 points. Also, you can see here high scores are listed. Okay, so I logged in as 2 different users. Unfortunately, I'm having an issue with, I can save this locally, but there's a permission that is not allowing me to read it. It works fine on my phone. I'm going to try to upload a video from the phone, but I'm not sure it's going to be able to happen in time. Anyway, so I'm going to go back and log in as, oops. Sorry about that. Okay. In fact, I'm going to sign in as Cameron. At diaz.com. So I should have challenges from both Tom Cruise and Robert Downey Jr. Okay, so let me show you how the game is played, since that's the most important part. Let me just go back. Let's see, app contains at least one user-facing function available, only to authenticated users. I showed this one, and I showed that one. That's 2. Let's see. App comprises at least one instance of each. So I have activities, I've shown you that, and I'm going to show you the content provider. Let's see, quickest way to show you this will be my client and my main activity. So actually I have a class here. I have a movie set DB open helper and movie sets data source. So this class is basically the table that corresponds to my movie sets, which is basically a movie set is a question with the 4 choices, and I can show you that in the database as well. I went ahead and imported the file that everyone shared with all the different columns. I added some stuff, but I basically have choice 1, 2, 3, 4, and the correct choice. I have difficulty, mainly they're all 1. I have some 2s, some 3s, so that as you move up in the game you can get harder questions. It's not all finished yet, but okay, so I have these questions here. So what I'm doing with the SQLite database is I'm replicating that table so that I can save it locally, and that way if I don't have access to the internet I can still play the game. And as we've used these classes before, I set the table create string, I set all the column names, and then from the data source class is where I actually have the open and close methods. This is where I create a movie set. I call this when I receive the call from the MySQL server, I iterate through them and I create 1 row each locally. Let's see. I also have an update rating that I call locally, and I have a update played. So every time I play one of the questions, it's also a round or movie set. If I answer it, then I set this one to play it true, so that it won't be displayed again. That way, I won't get duplicates of the same points. I can get a list of all of them. I can also get a list of the sets that I have not played yet, the questions I have not played, and I can search by difficulty. So as you can see, that meets the requirement of using SQLite, and you can see here. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to actually play the game. Let me see one last thing. Requirements. So I got activity, content provider. So it interacts with at least one remotely hosted Java Spring based. And yes, that's the server that I showed you. Let me show you that real quick. Let's see. So my server over here, I created a service API for each of the tables on my SQL. On my MySQL database. I have challenges that I send to friends. I have the movie sets, which is the questions. The player service is to be able to log in. I also have a database for the usernames with names and passwords. I also save the scores, and this one is just the old video service that we started with. So I have these here. Here's my application file where I create repositories for the 4 tables that I'm using, and they're listed down here as well. Let's see. What else can I show you? Let's see. Client. Here are my repositories, the important part. So I have the movie set class that has the ID. It's automatically generated. It's entity annotation. I have 2 constructors. I have all the getters and setters. Movie set repository. It's looking at my service API for the path. It's movie set. And I have find by genre, and I have find by difficulty less than, and I can pass in a difficulty level. Let's see. I have my score class. So this is basically the table where I save the scores. Same thing. It's an entity. It's the automatically generated ID, and I save the player ID, the first, last name, and the score. That's all that. Okay. Time for the game. So I click New Game. I actually have a timer. Right now I have it set to 5 seconds. I have this just to help me display it, so I pause the timer. So which movie is not like the others? Correct question is Titanic. It tells me it was correct. I waited too long to respond to that one, so it's telling me that which movie is not like the others. The correct choice was Breakfast at Tiffany's. Running out of power. And it's telling me here let's see, Breakfast at Tiffany's is this very old movie. My choice was none. I didn't choose anything. Right here it's Slumdog Millionaire. Oops, no, it was a Village. Let me pause this real quick. Breakfast at Tiffany's.